Welcome to the Frederica Academy Nights Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick. Brought to you by St. Simon Seafood, Jenkins Nissan, The Emerald Princess, Apple Care and Media Care, Misty's Element Massage, and by Catch 228. Now here is the voice of the Frederica Academy Nights, John Wetzler.
Well, welcome to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler on location at Catch 228 in Redford Village on St. Simon's Island, here Georgia, Florida weekend. And we have been here every Thursday at 6:30, and we will. This will be our last. Coach Brandon Derrick show, unless I have heard something that you haven't, Coach.
I haven't heard anything.
For the season. And I do want to say before we begin our last show this season, assuming that's the way it is, that I have enjoyed it thoroughly. I've learned a lot. Listening to you talk about defense and things that I haven't thought about before, like the read and react. I've also adopted your three-part mantra, if you will, for the team, which is attitude, effort, and execution. I think that's good stuff for general life, and so I've enjoyed it, Coach, and hopefully we'll do it again next year.
Yeah, I hope so. I've had fun too.
I forgot to finish our sponsors, which are Emerald Princess, St. Simon Seafood, Misty's Element Massage, Jenkins Nissan, and of course Catch 228, who has been our gracious host, and we've usually had live music out here. We don't tonight, but it's been a lot of fun. Well, Coach, we're coming up on the last game of the season. I guess there's the playoff hopes are officially no longer existing. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So, what are you telling the kids as you go into this last game tomorrow?
Tell the kids, the underclassmen, play for the seniors. Go out, play hard for those guys that have committed and put all their time forward. Because you're going to be a senior someday, and you're going to want that in return. Go out and lay it all on the line and finish. Give us something to have a positive going into the off season. It's something to work towards. A couple breaks here and there. It's a totally different story. It would be another week. We'd be getting ready for the playoffs. But that's why you play the game. Sometimes you get the break, sometimes you don't. And we were very close this year, and I thought the kids did a great job moving up 2 classifications in 1 year and going out and battling. We put ourselves in a chance to win numerous times, and we just didn't get the breaks at the end. And there's going to be teams this Friday night and this Saturday and this Sunday that the same things happen. It's just they're not going to get the breaks, and it can change the perspective of their whole season just on one play.
Right. Well, and one of the things that sort of emerges to me, I've been there all season up in the press box looking at it, watch every play that we played this season. You're asking, and a lot of people don't appreciate this unless you are a part of a team that plays Ironman football the way that we do at Frederica. But, what you've asked this team to do, coming into the season with tremendous adversity. Before we even had our first game, we had tremendous adversity in the form of loss of players, very significant players. And, what you've asked these kids to do is really, I think it's extraordinary. I don't think people really appreciate the full extent of asking kids, asking 8 or 9 kids to play both ways and actually be expected to win by everybody in the stadium, including you as the coach. We really expect them to win every game. I don't care if it's Valwood or Robertson's. We go there and we're like, we're going to win, and that's the way you feel.
That's the way I feel.
And your expectation of them is a high standard.
Yeah, my expectations are we're going to go out and win every game. And we don't care who we're playing. We're going to play the best competition in the state. We've done that this year in our schedule. We had a very competitive schedule, moving up classifications. And like I said, we did face adversity, and I thought our kids did an outstanding job of overcoming it. We lose our 6'6", 270-pound right tackle, Division I prospect. mid-July. He moves and goes to Wisconsin, and then one of our best athletes blows his ACL out in practice 2 weeks before the season starts. And when you only have 25, 26 kids, 2 really good players put a damper on it. And what these kids did was unbelievable at times. We picked them up, stretched them, and threw them right back out there and made plays. And they've kept us in the game, and they've done a good job. And I'm very proud of what our kids have done.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick. You're listening on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I agree, Coach. Brandon Blake, for example. What a great example for everybody who's from 6th grade to the seniors, to see a guy like that many generations, that many grades are going to have as a leader. From 6th graders all the way up till their seniors are going to have had the opportunity to see the way he played football for Frederica. Even though we didn't, have all the pieces of the puzzle that we had a couple years ago when we won the state championship, and others. I mean, you got Drew Brunson and Ty Gardner and so many other guys that have not quit.
Yeah, they're not going to quit. They battle every single game, and they go out and they're going to give you everything they got. They practice hard during the week. They give us, we're going to go out and execute the best of our ability every Friday night. The thing that you look at, and these kids, they go out and they have a tough day at school, and they have to come right out there and go to work on the practice field. And our expectations is to go win every game, just like you all as fans expect us to go out and win. And they've done an outstanding job. We've had to change. I'd have to really go out and tell the coaching staff I thank those guys a great amount, because when we're going into it, we're thinking we're an I football team to start the season. We got this big offensive line with Marshall and Drew and Dawson and all these guys coming back. We're going to get in the eye, and we're going to be able to rotate Tyree and Hollis. And
I remember talking to you about it. You told me how we were going to look a lot like Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're
going to have this cornerstone of this giant. Nobody's going to run to Marshall Dudley, and everybody's going to have to key on Marshall Dudley, and therefore that was a tremendous advantage. That we had. And then we didn't have, all in the twinkling of an eye.
Right.
Him and Tyree are gone.
Yeah, and a lot of people forget that we have to go in as coaches, and you got 23 kids. You got to go in and figure out how to make sure you got 23 standing at the end of the game, so you can still play the next week and battle. So the coaches have done an outstanding job. We had to change our dynamic on offense. We went to camp, and we thought we could be more of a spread team because Tyree gets back there, and he was going to be the guy that makes people miss in the backfield and do a few things. And, of course, he goes down. So then it changes again, and then we've got a couple freshmen in there lead blocking. And Hollis is now on the verge of we're on the verge of having another 1,000-yard rusher. We're 24 yards away from having our second 1,000-yard rusher in the school history in 2 years. And the coaches ought to be, patting on the back for being able to put that together. We run in the unconventional power I set, and it's not fancy, but it's been progressing rather nicely the last 3 or 4 weeks. We're averaging almost 300-some yards a game on offense. I mean, it doesn't look like it at times, but we're running it up and down the field. It's just a few mistakes here and there, or not converting in the red zone. I think that I joked around about it in there the other day, but one of us coaches just cursed something. We can't seem to score when we get inside the 10, a touchdown. We kick field goals or we don't score at all. So I'm not sure what it is, but I told everybody I was going to burn my socks and underwear. We're going to get rid of that and start all over, just to get rid of that curse. It was me. I'm going to cleanse all that stuff. We're so superstitious, but that's part of it, and that's part of the game. So we've been battling hard, and the kids have done a great job.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here on the Coach Brandon Derrick Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network. So right now we will hear from our sponsors.
The Emerald Princess Casino is celebrating 25 years with a special $25 gift for you. Wow, 25 years. Celebrate with this special $25 offer on our Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening cruises now through December. Limited one $25 value offer per person per cruise. Call for details. For reservations, call 800-842-0115 or visit emeraldprincesscasino.com. Call for offer limitations. Must be 18 years of age and present a government-issued photo ID to board.
I'm Jenkins Nissan.
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 I am Jenkins Nissan.
I'm Donnie Jenkins. We're all Jenkins Nissan, and together we want to show you just how easy buying and servicing your car should be. So please, stop by and experience the Jenkins Nissan difference. Look for the red and white Nissan tent at the corner of Chapel Crossing Road and the Spur, or visit us online at jenkinsnissanofbrunswick.com.
Get affordable health care when you need it. At Apple Care Immediate Care, our team of compassionate healthcare providers is dedicated to treating each patient with the highest standard in healthcare. Located at 1111 Glencoe Parkway, Apple Care is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Apple Care welcomes all walk-ins from pediatric to adult ages and accepts most insurance plans. Visit us at applecaredoctors.com and like us on Facebook.
Welcome back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler on location at Catch 228 in Redfern Village on St. Simons, and this segment is brought to you by Emerald Princess Jenkins Nissan. And well, Coach, we left off there before the break, and let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. We're having a game at 4:00, I guess, so that everybody's getting ready for Georgia, Florida. I guess that's a big factor in this, right?
Oh yeah, Georgia, Florida game, big factor. We thought we would try to get it in before everybody got out tomorrow night and did everything so they could go to all the festivity that's going to be on the island. But your 4:00 kickoff, I think it's going to be fun. It'll be very interesting to see. I think it's one of those things the kids are kind of acclimated to it because we practice at 4:00 every day. So, our kids probably be used to it. We go out and hit the practice field at 4:00, so we're going to be acclimated to it, ready to go. And, just the early kickoff, I hope everybody can get off. I'm sure most people will be able to with it being Georgia, Florida weekend around here. And, just kind of get the celebration of football kicked off this weekend with us and Mondon. They're a very good team.
Well, you're a Tennessee fan, right?
Yeah.
But, you got to admit, though, even as a Tennessee fan, that it's pretty cool around here this time of year, just for football lovers. At a general level of football affection.
Oh yeah, anywhere you go in the South is a cool area when it comes to football.
Yeah.
We may not beat you in something, but we're gonna beat you in football.
Yeah.
That's the mentality in the South. That's our sport. That's why people down here in the SEC and everybody they love it.
That's right.
And that's why kids at such a young age. I laugh. We talked about changing the culture at Frederica and the whole thing, and we joked about it the other day with me talking about taking the football or the soccer balls away from the kids and me giving them footballs. I looked out there today at the lower school. They got the new playground and it's a soccer field, but I looked out there and the kids were playing football. So I was like, you know what? We are changing the culture, and so it's a great time of year. It's going, and down here right now, especially for this weekend, it's awesome. Our kids are fired up about it. They watch football and they get involved with it, and it's just an awesome game. Like I've said before, football teaches you a lot of lessons about life, and our kids are, they're new to it almost, but it's a great time of year, and I love it.
I love it too, and that's why I think it's never gotten old. It's every year. It's most of the time it's somewhat disappointing. Every year there's only a few times when you get to be the champ usually, unless you're live in Lowndes County or something like that.
Well, it's like I told everybody at the end of the game. There's only going to be one.
Yeah.
In every classification, there's only going to be one champion. Everybody else then goes right back to rebuilding and reworking. And so it's nothing. Just go out and compete, play as hard as you can, and get ready. And that's kind of, we're getting ready for that tomorrow to get the finale, and hopefully we'll leave it on a good note and send the seniors out on a very positive note, and then then we go right back to the drawing board. I'm already back on it right now, getting rosters put together for upcoming next year and things like that. So I don't lie to you. I'll try to work ahead and work fast and try to get everything organized, and we're already starting to do that.
Well, this is the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network. And I have 3 boys here that are under your tutelage at this time. You and Jeff and Coach Ben and Coach Covington and Coach McClelland and all the other guys that Ed Wilson. I think one of the things that strikes me as a parent and as a football fan is that you guys respect them, and they respect you guys, and I can't say that I felt that way about every football coach that I ever had, and or every boss I ever had, and sometimes I was wrong, but or immature or whatever, but I get the sense that at least it appears to me that you guys have a mutual respect for one another, and I think that's the beginning point of a program that's worth the effort.
Oh yeah, that it works both ways. I want the kids to sell out and give everything to me, but I'm gonna have to listen to them every now and then. They can't tell me they can do this or they can, and we're gonna do it. And if they say they can't, we're not. I've been criticized before for being a player's coach. Call a timeout, bring them all in, and say, "Hey, we're gonna go for it. What are you gonna do?" And if they all say yes, which they're all high school boys, most of the time they're like, "Yeah, we're going for it." So we go for it. They're the ones that practice and put in all the time. We put them in the positions to make plays and do things, but they're the one that gives that great effort. And when you listen to them, they feel like they have something invested in it. And same way, the way I coach is the way I was taught to play. And my coaches listen to me at times, and I didn't know everything, and I still don't. I go to a lot of clinics, I do a lot of things, but I was paid a good compliment the other day. One of the coaches said, "Coach, you're not just a player's coach, but you're a coach's coach. You listen to the coaches, you take everything we're trying to say, and we may not always be right, and we're not always going to be right. We're going to make bad calls, and we're going to mess up every now and then, but at the same time, it's a learning process for all of us, for the kids and the coaches. So we lean on each other, and I listen to them all the time. If they tell me something can work, then we're going to do it, they come up with these wild Madden plays and draw them on the board, but, some of that stuff's probably not going to be executed real well. But, we have some fun with it, and we go out and do some of those things. But, I want the kids to realize that we're there for them, and that we listen to them, and we're going to help them in any way, not just on the football field, but off the field. Some of them need a little more guidance in the classroom, and I've been providing some of it here lately, with some of the grades, and that's some of the things you got to have. You got to have those relationships for them to respect you, and that comes with it. And I enjoy that part of the game. I like teaching in the classroom, so I get to see the kids as students, and doing that kind of stuff. That makes it fun for me.
Well, I think part of why someone like yourself, or someone like myself, or someone like any of the kids that are willing to get out there and play for you, and for the school, and for our community, for this island, for Flynn County, part of what makes us feel the way we do about the game is the influences in our lives. I can tell you that the single most influential people in my life have been my football coaches, and that includes my dad. But the single most influential people in my life, hands down, have been football coaches, because they have taken the opportunity to teach me about life in the game of football in a way that nothing else that I know of is that intense, of a lesson about selflessness, about team, about getting over yourself and thinking about something more important than just our own self gratification. Football demands it.
Yeah, it does. And that's kind of the lessons we try to teach. You're talking about old coaches had a rec coach that always used to say, "Son, we don't care if you're the stallion, but it's going to take 11 horses to pull that wagon to get it across the line for the win. And that's really what it is. If you've got all those guys that can play, but they don't play in one accord, it's not going to matter. They're just running around out there lost. And the team thing, and the concepts and lessons of life, they're being taught every day. And we enjoy doing that with our kids out there. They're really starting to buy into it. The culture's changing, and we're starting to see that concept of all these things that are bundled into football take its role and take its place.
Well, we will be right back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. We're going to take a quick break.
Relax. Misty's Element Massage specializes in helping you do just that. Located at 138 Village Market on St. Simons Island, Misty's Element Massage offers deep tissue massages, therapeutic massages, scrubs, creams, body wraps, and much more. The perfect gift for that special someone, not to mention sports massages for that aching muscle. Schedule your appointment today at 912-224-0198 or on the web at mistyselement.com.
Fresh local seafood on St. Simons Island? St. Simons Seafood, located at 2463 Demery Road in the shops at Demery Plaza next to Loco's, has everything a seafood lover could want. Wild Georgia shrimp, crab cakes, flounder, you name it, and St. Simons Seafood has it. Seafood so fresh, it was swimming this morning. So stop into St. Simons Seafood and check them out on Facebook. St. Simons Seafood, the island's only fresh seafood in Redfern Village on St. Simons Island is your home for the best seafood around. Oysters, shrimp, fish, you name it. Not to mention your island home for NFL Sunday Ticket, Major League Baseball extra innings, college game day, and so much more. Catch 228 is also your home for the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick and a proud Frederica Academy supporter. So stop on in any night of the week for the best time on St. Simons and find us on Facebook. Go Knights!
Well, welcome back to the Frederica Academy Knights Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler on location at Catch 228 Redfern Village on St. Simons. And this segment is brought to you by Misty's Element Massage and by St. Simons Seafood. So, I can't remember exactly where we left off, Coach, but that doesn't matter. So, what can you tell us, if anything, about our team? Is it Monsignor Donovan Catholic School, correct?
Yes.
In Athens.
Yeah.
What do we know about them?
I'm just going to call them Mondon. If not, I'll butcher the name. Very athletic. They've got a lot of athletes. Not very disciplined at times, but very athletic. They can break a big play at any time, and defensively, they run to the ball okay. But, we're going to have to play real well, not turn the ball over. We're going to have to gang tackle, keep them hemmed up, and run down the line, be aggressive on defense, and stay in our alleys and run in our lanes. Our biggest thing is that's where we're going to be. If we do a few things, we don't turn the ball over and we execute, I think we can. Again, I think special teams, we can win in the edge with special teams. So we're going to have to do a few things there with special teams, get a few breaks. Offensively, if we just hold on the ball and run downhill at them, I think if we just line up and hammer them, it's kind of what our mantra's been this week. Let's just line up, hit them in the face, and move on, because I think we can. And just execute when we run our boots and our spread stuff, just execute it to the best of our ability and make it happen. And offensively, just control the tempo of the game. Let's not let them get happy, and us just keep everything contained. We got a good shot.
Well, how have they, how have they matched up against some of our common opponents?
I don't think they've played anybody that we have common opponent-wise. They're 7-1, but they've not played anybody, I think, in AAA at all. So they've been playing AA numbers. I think Brentwood, they beat Brentwood by 13 points or whatever, and Trinity beat Brentwood by 25 or something or another. So, and we played Trinity pretty well. So if we want to try to do that common opponent thing there, that might be it. But when you look at it, they're just athletic. If we can control it, and not give up some big plays, If we gonna do that, we got a good shot.
Well, talk about, if you would, are there any guys on the team that you know of who expressed a desire to keep playing football after tomorrow?
We've talked to a few. Brandon Blake, I've talked to him a little bit. I hope that he wants to pursue it and go on and play at the next level. I've tried to convince a few others to even look into it, and some, may not. But Brandon has kind of expressed a little bit of interest, and I think he can go somewhere and play. And so we're already doing a highlight film. Going to try to send it off, get all that stuff taken care of. I think he's got a good shot to go play at the next level. We've got a chance again this Friday if Hollis gets 26 yards or 24 yards to have a 1,000-yard rusher, and Brandon needs like 10 tackles, and he'll have over another 100 tackles again this season. So, just as personal records, that's pretty good for two kids, the defense and offensively, to go out there and do that with as much adversity as we've had to go through this year and things we've had to deal with. But the kids have done a good job, and if anybody wants to go to the next level, we're going to get them there. Academically, we already got them there. That's the big thing, I'll say it again. Frederica's right now the only school in the county that you're going to be guaranteed to go to college.
That's right.
And that's the truth. Academically, you're going to go to school. $1.8 million was generated in scholarships last year, and that didn't include Hope. So you put the Hope in there, I have no idea how many millions of dollars that we've created. But, you can go to school, you can go to the next level if you want to, if you come to Frederica.
Well, we both played at NAIA schools, correct? I played at Presbyterian College back when it was NAIA for 2 years, and I think you played at an NAIA school, didn't you?
I was Division III.
Okay. Well,
NCAA Division III at Maryland.
Regardless of all that, it really doesn't matter because I was going to say that I had a chance to play at an NAIA school, which I think a lot of our players, like Brandon Blake, and others. I mean, there's a number of Ty Gardner, Drew Brunson. These guys can play and compete and be a integral part of football through their college years if they want to. And I played at Georgia, and the experience was really no different as far as being a part of a team. The talent show was funnier at Presbyterian College than it was at Georgia by far. And you do all these things as part of a football team, and football's football. So whether it's Frederica, Presbyterian, University of Georgia, Alabama, UCLA, I don't care. Football's football, or Tusculum, or wherever. I mean,
it's just a different speed.
Yeah,
it's a different speed, and you play at high school and you think, oh well, you're going Division III, and you're like, it can't be that different. Oh, it is. It's much faster, and just imagine Division I is faster than that. Division II, is a little bit slower than Division I, and the size, the magnitude of the Mack trucks that are hitting you are a little different than the other ones in Division III. You got the Todd Gurley's running over people in Division I, and there was me in Division III, at 205, the white kid coming downhill at you, a little bit, but, so a little bit different, magnitude when you think about it. That's what it boils down to, speed and size. And if you watch these guys, I mean, it's very, very funny when you watch it on TV. Everybody looks the same speed, and you're like, oh, well, I could do that. Go out there and try it.
Yeah.
Just go out there for about 3 plays, see what it's like. Your head will be in a whirlwind. You'll be like, good. What happened? And
it's all timing.
It is, and it's instinct. And when you go to college, I remember going and thinking, this is not going to be too bad. Took about the first 3 snaps and get drilled right in a face mask. About the first 3 snaps as a freshman quarterback, thinking it's a little bit different here than what I expected. And it's the same thing anywhere. And to us, you watch it on TV, and it is that speed. Everybody's like, oh, I can do that. I'm that fast, but it's totally different, and that's why people love it. And get caught up in it, because everybody we watch on Saturday is good. Everybody, unless you're, I don't want to make fun of the Big Ten or the Pac-12, but the SEC. If you're watching the SEC, you're watching good football.
Yeah. Now it's Sean Tatum. He's playing for Georgia Southern, I hear. Is that right?
Walked on, yes.
And he's made some level of dress out squad or something like that.
Yep.
He was our tailback last year.
He had 1,100 yards last year. Our kids they can go to the next level if they want to. We're going to see here in the next 4 to 5 years that weight room, the impact of our weight room and our strength and conditioning. is going to be huge, because then our kids are going to be able to compete at that level. We're going to have some kids. I mean, we got some kids that, you know, going to be able to go to that level that have that size. You think about Austin Skelton right now, he's already got the size. He's 6'3", 290.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking at just the size. They can make a player. And so, you know, Austin's one of them. We got Dawson Covington that's going to have that size. You know, he's going to be a prospect. We got Hollis is going to have a chance if he wants to play. Like you said, Ty Gardner, if he wants to go. Ty's 6'3", 215, and Ty's sometimes clueless, you know, when it comes to the things out there. But he's such a big individual that if he wants to go play somewhere, he can go to the next level, and he's really worked hard, you know. And some of our freshmen that are coming up, you know, as you start looking at some of our freshmen and our 8th graders, if they get committed into the weight room and stay in it year-round and do what we ask them to do, we're going to have kids that's going to have the opportunities to go play just about at any level, I think. I mean, Division I, too. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the radio. I really believe that.
Yeah, and last night Frederica hosted a rec game, first annual Island Bowl, which you opened up the facilities and gave a tour, and everybody appreciated that, by the way. But just from last night, that was about 30 or 32 kids in the 10 and under league that really love the game of football, that live on, all those kids live on the island, you know, and the island is rich with athletes, and you know, if we could just persuade the island to take a look at Frederica and just get participation from the kids at Frederica right now, and you know, kids on the island whose parents want to see them have the kind of opportunity you get, we could be the best team in Glenn County. Well, there's no question about it.
It's like I said last night in that locker room. You want to go to college, we're your school. We're guaranteed. We 40 for 40 last year. 40 seniors graduated, the 40 went to college. They earned either scholarship money, but they all went to college. You know, we're 40 for 40. I don't know if anybody else can say that in the county. You know, I'm going to keep pointing it out. If we get the enrollment up to every class 60 for 60, we're going to do that. You know, and it's like I said last night in the locker room, academics is the focal point at Frederica. You're not going to leave there, you know, with not being prepared to go into college. You're going to be prepared. And then the other thing I stressed last night, even with those young kids and the parents, is 90% of our kids finish college in 4 years. So of those 40 this past year, 36 of them will be done in 4 years. They will have graduated in 4 years. Some may do it less than that and be in their graduate degrees. So the state average in Georgia, 31% will graduate in 4 years. So, you know, we're 50% ahead or 60% ahead than everybody else right now.
That's awesome. Well, we are out of time, and this has been the Coach Brandon Derrick Show for Frederica Academy on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Come out to Catch 228. Well, this is the last time. I'm not going to read the canned writing there because this is our last week.
Yeah.
And I have enjoyed it.
I have too. And you still come out to Catch 228 and eat.
Yeah, we'll still come out here and eat.
Yeah,
and,
pretty good place. It's got pretty good food.
Hopefully we can come out here and watch Georgia win the national championship. Perhaps.
Ooh, I don't know if that's going to happen, but they may. If Gurley gets back, hey. If Gurley gets back and he's running angry, you know, maybe they got a good chance. But I'm going to tell you, the West is tough.
Hey, I ain't worried about him. I ain't worried about him. We can beat anybody. All right. Thank you, Coach.